And so I'm wondering, should people see this new year as something more than just the starting of a new year or a new decade, but the possibility to accomplish a new mind?
A new mind. You should look for a new mind. You should look for a new self-worth. You should look.
How do you do that?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I think you first do that by.
Help me, Curt.
I think that you want to do that by really honing in on who you are. Dr. Miles Monroe says that the grave is empty. I mean, it's full of people that didn't die empty. And so I think as the new year comes and as we begin to explore the things that we're called to do, I think we have to take away from the fact of looking for diamonds and stuff to be on the inside of us, but to look to actually take those diamonds and produce them to others.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because I was thinking about 2020 and the new decade and the new year, and it reminded me that there's a difference between building and rebuilding, right? So anybody who builds something, you have the material and you start from scratch, right? You dig the hole and you fill it with, but when you're rebuilding, that takes a different mind because you are rebuilding on the ruins of what didn't work.
Right.
And so 2020 isn't about people building, right? Am I right? It's about people rebuilding. And the hardest part about rebuilding is you have to look at all the things you failed at.
All the things you failed at.
That's why everybody can't rebuild.
That's right. Because everyone doesn't want to look at the things that they did wrong and tear it down and start from the foundation again. And a lot of times you have to be willing to tear stuff down and start from the foundation.
And you know, you tell me if I'm wrong, Pastor Curt, that not only do you have to be willing, but you have to be courageous,
Very
right?
courageous.
And you have to be authentic enough to realize that failure is a part of the process.
Failure is a part. You got to fail forward.
You know, one of the reasons why I love to talk to you is because you remind me that there's a certain level of courage that I think you have to have just to get up in the morning and be who you are.
Yeah.
And I perceive you to be a very courageous man, very courageous person. But I'm going to ask you a question that's a bit more pedantic and silly.
Okay.
Why in the hell do most people fail at their resolutions like 3 hours after they make them? Because I almost failed today.
You almost failed today? What
Let
was
me
your
tell you something. There's some cheese. That's some cheese was speaking my name.
The cheese was speaking.
It was the devil.
You know, I don't think people should really make resolutions rather than to create new thought processes.
What's the difference?
And so, well, with the resolution, you're saying, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to eat the cheese. But why not say, as my renewed thought process, that I'm going to lessen the cheese that I eat until I don't eat cheese anymore?
Let me tell you why that won't work with Dr. Sean. Because Dr. Sean will say, I'm only going to eat the cheese until I don't want cheese anymore. And then the anymore will never come.
It will never come?
So I'm the kind of guy where I got to just get it out the house. If it's in the house,
you got to get it out.
It's something that's going to be a problem. Talk to people like me, because you're acting like I'm the only one. Talk to people like me who say, you know, I need a more radical approach because gradualism is
So let's look at this. Like, so I gained some pounds, and so I need to work out. So what I did was 2 years ago I joined the gym, paid probably about $500 or $600 for the entire year for the gym, and I may have gone 2 times. So I made a deal with myself, and I said, if you can get up every morning, download the app, use your iWatch, use whatever it is that you use to like work out. If you can get up every morning and you can walk for 30 minutes around your neighborhood, then move to the next step and get a gym membership. So I walked for about 3 weeks, and I haven't walked because I stopped walking because of the holiday, but every in my mind, I'm conditioning myself to say, listen, that's why you're not getting that gym membership, because you have to commit to doing something, commit to doing that one thing.
Yeah.
So if it's not eating the cheese, let me commit to not eating the cheese, or maybe just eating cheese once a week. And I know you said that, but just let me eat cheese on Sundays. And Sunday is my only day to eat cheese. And then eventually, you're gonna forget about eating cheese anyways. And eventually, I'll forget about not walking, and it'll become a process of me walking.
What you say makes a dangerous sense.
A dangerous sense.
It makes so much sense that it becomes dangerous.
Dangerous.
Because I have found that, you tell me if I'm wrong, Pastor, that you cannot condemn yourself to success.
No, you can't.
You cannot beat yourself up and expect to be good at anything.
You can't.
At some point, you're gonna have to say, well done.
Well done.
Am I right about that?
And allow it to happen.
So well done, Dr. Sean, for not eating the cheese today.
For not eating the cheese today.
They not clapping, but the devil is alive.
One step at a time.
Yes! All right, so let me ask you this. Give me 3 things everybody, man, woman, boy, girl, black, white, young, old, gay, straight, everybody in 2020 should accomplish. Give me 3 things that everybody, in terms of their souls and their minds, that everybody should strive to accomplish in 2020.
So 3 things. I think the first thing that you should strive to accomplish is to feed your mind. And just find something that you could do. It could be reading a book. It could be subscribing to some type of TED Talks app or whatever, some podcast or something like that. First thing is to feed your mind. The second thing is to do a physical activity. Like if it's nothing but getting up and walking for about 10 to 15 minutes a day. And then the third thing is to create short goals for yourself. So if you know, like if you want to own a business, maybe it may not be buying a building, but it may be starting your website, or it may be gathering up the things that you need. That could be your first goal, and then moving on from that process. So those would be the 3 things.
Can I add one?
You can.
Keep your gifts hidden while they grow.
Cool. That's good. Say that.
Keep your gifts hidden while they grow. Don't be inviting people in to handle your baby.
This is true.
Before it's ready to run or walk.
This is true.
Remember that. I'm telling you, I'm from experience. Keep your gifts hidden while they grow.
Keep them hidden.
Man. So let me ask you this. What is your mantra or your theme that you have for your church or for your life or for whatever for 2020? You have a mantra? Are you a mantra guy?
I'm not a mantra guy, but I will say that I think the theme for me is success is in the grasp. My success is in the grasp, meaning that because it's a new decade, because we have all these things, you have a way that you can just tackle anything that you put your mind to. If it's a business, if it's a relationship, if it's just you thinking better about yourself, buying yourself new clothes, like success is in your grasp.
It's reachable.
It's reachable. It's obtainable.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I wasn't here, I'd throw my shoe. That's good. It's reachable. That's real good. Tell me, because I think people come out of 2019 and they come into 2020, and the tendency is to think that because it's a new year and a new decade and a new you, and Pastor Curt has given me this great advice, and now I understand what I need to do, that whatever happened in 2019 is over and dead. But the reality is, it ain't. There's still some unresolved business.
Right.
Some unresolved issues and relationships. Just help us, help the audience, help the viewers understand what it is that we should do about the unresolved issues that are still lingering and bubbling from 2019.
Deal with them.
That's good.
Just deal with them. I mean, the reality is that they're not going to go away.
Right.
And so I think that you would be better suited for yourself if you just deal with them, maybe one at a time, and maybe maybe there's so many different things that may have happened to you in 2019, 2018, or even back even further. But I think that you should just strive to do one thing at a time and just deal with those things.
Because running does what?
All running does is make you tired.
I'm about to slap you with one of these cards. All running does,
Is make
tweet
you
that.
tired.
Somebody at home, tweet that.
It just makes you tired.
All running does is make you
'Cause
tired.
it's still gonna be there when you finish running.
And the words of my mother, I know that's right.
I know that's right.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, because I last year I talked to so many people, and I love this platform. I love this show. I get to talk to interesting people who have accomplished things and done, and people who have not yet accomplished what they're trying to accomplish. And in all of us, including me, there's a part of us that runs. Either when it gets hard, when it gets tight, when we don't get validated, when we feel fear, when we feel like we're under threat. There's always a part of us that either we don't actually run, but we feel the tendency to get the hell out of there. And just for a second, because I'm gonna change gears with you in a second. Speak to that part of us that's in all of us that would rather flee than take a stand.
I think that to speak to it, I think people have to do what I did when I had the tendency to run away from things, and that is to realize where you are, to realize who you are, and realize the worth of completing whatever it is, the task that you're running from. Because if you complete it, then you don't have to run from it ever again. But if you run from it, then eventually somewhere down the road it's gonna present itself again.
Yeah.
And so I think that the key thing is to just realize, let me focus. It might be hard, it might be difficult, it might even cause some relationships to break up, it may cause havoc in your life, but all of that is gonna cause the dust to settle. And when the dust settles, then you'll be in a renewed state to be able to live in your decade.
In your
decade.
That's good, Reverend.
Yeah.
I don't know why they ain't clapping, but that's good.
In your decade.
No, that's rich. When the dust settles, you'll be able to live in your decade.
In your decade.
And why do you say it like that, your decade?
Well, it's because what I said at the beginning. I think that a lot of times we live for so many different other people that we don't get to enjoy ourselves. And so I think at some point you have to stop and actually enjoy yourself and say, hey, this is who I am. This is my mantra. This is what I'm called to do. This is what who I'm called to be. And I can, the best thing that I could do is to be myself. Because the more that I spend time trying to authenticate others, then I lessen the person that I was ordained to be anyway.
No, that's rich. That's rich and that's smart. All right, I gotta take a break, but I'm gonna do this with you, all right? You ready? Give me one word. No, not yet. Give me one word answers for this. You ready?
Okay, one word.
What are you trying to get out of 2020?
Money.
What are you trying to manifest out of your life this year?
Stability.
What is the best thing that can happen to you this year?
To meet Barack Obama.
We'll be right back.